afternoon to all of you. Sorry for the delay. There was some technical problem, so we will be starting now. Welcome to the webinar on Tekla Structures for pre-engineered building systems. My name is Mr. Nimlekar, consultant from Tekla India Marketing. Before we start, let's just take a moment to ensure that everyone is ready and familiar with the webinar control panel. You may minimize this time by clicking on the double arrow button in the upper left side, and you will expand the text by clicking the same button. You have the ability to submit questions using the chat pane located near the bottom of the control panel. At the end of the webinar, we will try to answer your questions. This session will be recorded for your future reference and will be available in Tekla India website.
Let's get started now. This webinar will be presented by Neha Telang, Senior Product Specialist, Tekla India. You have the ability to submit questions using the chat pane located near the bottom of the control panel. At the end of the webinar, we will try to answer your questions. Hope all of you enjoy this technical session. I now hand over to Neha Telang. Thanks.
Thank you, Mishti. Let us start the webinar on pre-engineered structures using Tekla Structures. Today's session agenda will give you an overview about Tekla as a corporate. Next, we'll see the complete solution available for Tekla Structure for the PEB industry, which includes member placement, connection application, BOQ extraction, generation of fabrication as well as erection drawings. Also, we'll see how fabrication automation can be achieved with Tekla. Some tools are available for project communication, and lastly, we'll see the benefits of Tekla. Now, some history about Tecla Corporation. Tecla has a long history of providing high-tech solutions to the design and construction industries. We have been providing technology solution to these industries since 1966. We are quite proud that we are now in our 49th year of technology business. Our early solutions were centered on structural engineering, road building and earth moving. In 1993, Tekla launches X-Steel for structural engineering. What was then called product modeling software and is now called as Bim. We are quite proud that we are in our 20th year of making building information modeling solution for the design and construction industries. Tekla has always been focused on working internationally. So our first export deals were struck in 1972. Tekla opened its first international office in Sweden in the 90s, making a start of rapid international expansion that would continue to the turn of the millennium. During this time, Tekla also went on the public stock of Helsinki Stock Exchange. Finally, Tekla became part of Trimble Group in July 2011 through acquisition after a long and a fruitful partnership. This partnership was based on the jointly created technology that connected Tekla construction level of detailing building information model to Trimble's robotic total solutions. Tekla is a leading BIM tool which can be used during various stages of construction. If we take an example of steel structure, right from the architectural integration to the site management, everything can be done in Tekla. Entire integration is based on the BIM technology, right from estimation, detailing, fabrication of fabrication and automation, production planning, and erection on the site. Everything can be based on the BIM technology. So let us move to the area of our interest, which is a PEB structure. PEB structure basically consists of main members and their connection. So in connections, we can see that there are base plates. We have Nee connections. We also need splice and flange to end plate connections. Then we also have some secondary members in the PEB structure and their connections along with the sheeting. So as we proceed in this session, we are going to see how Tekla Structures can build PEB structure along with required output. So here are some tools which I am going to highlight are available for quickly modeling of the frames. So tools available in Tekla to quickly model the frame for the various types of frames such as multi-span with different numbers of span, single slope frame, then lean to roof frame. So these all kind of frames you can create with a quickly modeling tool. So with this tool you can create a frame in just few mouse clicks. Here is an example of different type of frames which can be created with this tool. So these are some type of frames which we can create. A multi-span frame, if we want, we can create that frame also. So these are different type of frames which we have. We have a PEB specific component library to suit all the PEB needs. And in this you can find the main member catalog. So these are the mainframe members catalog. Then you can find different connections where you can find different type of base plate, Nee connection, splice. Also this dedicated toolbar is also available which consists of various tools such as creating frames, ridge member, then multi-depth stiffener. So these are all different tools which are available for the usage of PEB industry. So to have a look in detail, if we see the PEB member, with this tool you can create a PEB member which can have 6 variable depths as you can see in the image. And I'm going to show you just few examples of this tool with which you can create different type of PEB members of variable depth, variable flange thicknesses, variable splicing. We also have a base plate connection. With this base plate component, you can create either fixed or pin base plate with required anchors. So these are some of the examples of different type of base plates which can be created with our base plate component. Next is the splice connection which can be applied to a column splice between the first and the second segment of a column as well as to a rafter. Either the rafter is at different segment or the rafter is located at the ridge. For both it will work. So these are few images which you can see. It shows different type of splice combinations which we generally need in the PEB industry. There is a knee joint connection which creates a knee connection between rafter and a column. It has option to create horizontal, vertical and perpendicular knee connection, and this connection will have triangular flange stiffness along with inner and outer stiffness, as well as for web strengthening we can provide a diagonal stiffener in this. And here are few application examples of this knee joint connection. Another connection is end plate to flange connection. It is mostly required for the interior columns at different location. And here you can have a look on the different combinations which can be created with this connection. Moving ahead, we have the multi-depth stiffener connection also available in Tekla, which create a series or a single stiffener on a plated member, and it has option to provide the stiffeners for full or the half depth of the member. So here is how you can get the output of the multi-depth stiffener. Then we also have a ridge rafter member creation option, and this creates ridge member for different type of ridge portions. So here are a few examples how we can generate different type of ridge members. Okay, so let us now see how quickly we can create the main built-up members with specified spacing. Here I am showing you the Tekla model in which there is a option to create the frames. We can save different attribute. We can give the slope. We can give how many number of copies we want. You can define the span, and you just need to pick 2 points. Based on 2 pick points, it will create the frame. So first we are going to create the outer frames. So it has started applying, creating the frames along with the connections. Different type of connections will be created automatically with the frames. So with this connection, you can quickly create the frame with the specified parameters. So here is the frame with the interior columns. So we have the connections also here. So different type of connections will be provided. Okay, the connection parameters we need to define in the component. We can save the attributes. These attributes and the settings can be shared across different models, and you can set this throughout your project and you can use it. So now we are inserting the inner frames. So the inner frames we can see are inserted. So after adding the grid, we just need to take this tool PB frames, and with this you can create the frames of different type. So here is a multi-span frame which is going to be created, and so quickly we can create the main built-up members along with their connections. We can see here in Tekla. So after completion, it will say that the frames are created. So now you can have a look how the frames are being created, the exterior and the internal frames. Here we can see that you can define the interior column parameters. So the parameters can be defined, the rafter parameters can be defined. So we can define all the parameters before generating this connection frames basically. So moving ahead, we'll just have a look on the member connection library which we have. So this is the PEB member which is being used in the frame, and here you have option to define 6 variable depths. Also you can define 6 different thicknesses for the web flange and the bottom flange. Similarly, here we can see again a PEB member is being created and the connections are being applied in the frame. So this is the base plate connection which we have, and different options for inputting the length and the start distances of bolts are there. Then the bolts parameters can be defined along with the standard of bolts. Spacing of the bolts can be defined. If you want to delete any bolts, you can define those also. Then the stiffness of various types are available. So whatever type is required based on your project, we have most of them incorporated in the connection library. So you can use this base plate. The grout information also can be provided in the base plate. Next we'll move to the Nee connection. Nee connection has different option to provide horizontal, vertical knee. Then the parts information can be inputted here. Then the width. So different options are there for specifying the bolt information. For the information of stiffness, you have a separate tab. For the diagonal stiffener information, you again have a separate tab here. So likewise, this connection has different options. Then next we are having a look here on the splice connection. So these are the options which are available on the splice connection, and different type of splicing combination can be generated through this connection. Similarly, if we have a look here on end plate to flange connection, different type of combinations of stiffness are available in the drop down list. You can see then the bolts information along with the information of the parts. You can define if you want full depth stiffener or half depth, you can define, and the stiffness of different shapes can be added here. So this is about the connections which we have in Tekla for the PEB segment. Now let us see, after adding the frames and the main build-up, if we want to create the drawings. So we can extract GA drawing at any instant. It's not required to complete the full model and then extract the drawing. If you want to extract drawings, BOQ, anything in between, you can do that. So we are going to see how Tekla can extract the drawings, GA drawings. So here you can see different type of drawings can be generated. Here is just an example of a GA drawing, just to give you an idea how the drawings can be integrated to the model. So if the information is changed in the model, the same will be reflected in the drawing also immediately. So moving ahead, let us now see how you can extract the BOQ of the main build-up. Okay, we had already modeled the main build-up. We just wanted to extract a quick BOQ. So you can go to the options of drawings and reports. You can customize this reports to whatever formats and the extents you want. The BOQ can be extracted in HTML and Excel. So here we are going to see an example of Excel. So these are the BOQ which is generated for the main build-up. So if you want to have a quick quantity takeoff of the model, the tonnage, if you want to know, then you can quickly take this kind of BOQ. So we have seen the main build-up, and next we are going to see the cold roll member details. So there are different profiles for the cold rolled. So most of the profiles are available, and if some of the profiles are not available, you can easily create this kind of profiles in Tekla without any programmatic knowledge. So it doesn't require any C+ or C# language information. You can go to one of our simple tool, or you can also import DWG file and you can create this kind of profile very easily. And we have the library of the profiles where you can see different profiles are there. So using this profile, you can generate the cold roll part of the PV structure. So let us see how to model the cold rolled elements in the model. So here in Tekla you can very easily do the filtering. Okay, so if you want to filter anything, you can very easily do the filtering part. And here is our component catalog, which is a very wide catalog, and we have different type of connections. Here I am taking a connection which can generate the purlins at required spacing, numbers, and with a specified profile. So I'm just picking the position and the members on which I want the code role members, the purlins. So we have in a few clicks you can see that we can generate the purlins along the members and they would be splitted automatically. So these are the purlins, whatever profile you mention, those profile it will take. Later on also, if you want to modify anything for the profiles, you can simply select the members, go to the component and you can modify those profiles also. Here I'm creating the purlins at the roof level, and as I said, you can easily do the filtering operation in Tekla, so which can easily filter out some of the members which you don't want to see. And again we are just picking some members to create the purlins. So this is how, whatever number of members you have, you just need to pick the members and it will create purlins on those members. So these are the simple tools which are available and those are very easy to use. So this kind of purlins can be generated if you want to change the numbers, if you want to change the profile, you can very easily change it. So it's not that you have to go and select each and every component one by one. You can easily do this by clicking that component and you can easily modify it. So modification is also very easy. Now we are going to see, already we had generated some GA drawing. If we add some members in the model, how they reflect in the drawing. So see, we had added some purlins in the model and this are reflected in the drawing as well. So if there are different options to change the part mark representation, so you can always change that. And with this part mark representation, you can include whatever content about the part information you want, along with the assembly position if you want the profile or if you don't want the profile. So these are all things are very easily manageable in Tekla drawings. So the model and the drawing is always updated. Next, let us see the sheeting. So different type of sheeting profiles are available, and if you require any of specific sheeting types or the profiles for your structure, you can easily customize it. As I said, you can import easily a DWG file and you can create a profile. And also we have some inbuilt tools with which you can just in a few clicks you can generate the sheeting profiles. So the modeling of sheeting, how the modeling of sheeting we are going to do, that we are going to see now. So for modeling the sheeting, we have different tools. So we can use one of those tools and we can select the sheeting profile. After selecting the sheeting profile, we just need to specify the point, and on that polygon area, the sheeting will be generated. So here we are picking the polygon, and on this the sheeting will be generated. Here also you can later modify the sheeting profile. So these are all components. If you want to modify any of the information later, it's possible to modify it, and once you add any of the information in the model, the same will be updated in the drawing automatically. So this model, your model is integrated with the drawing. So this is how we can, if you want to extract the BOQ of the sheeting, you can extract the BOQ of the sheeting also. So this is the BOQ of the sheeting. If you want, that also can be generated easily. Next, we have the cold roll component library also in Tekla. So different type of cold roll connection are available in Tekla, and if you want to customize any of the connections, you can very easily customize this connection. So we have different connections such as flange-based connection, then the T-clip connection, and different type of sag rods which are generally used in the cold roll part of the PEB industry. So let us now see how we are going to apply the connection for the cold roll. So in Tekla we have a different option to see and hide some of the parts. So I'm going to a grid where I had created only where I had filtered only few parts so that I can show you the connection in detail. And we have here cold roll sleeve connection, and you can input all the attributes and you can save the setting. Once you save the setting, this setting can be shared among different projects, and I'm going to apply the connection by just picking some parts, and this is how when you pick certain parts your sleeve connection will be applied along with the bolts. So these all parameters you need to input before applying the connection. And also if you have a Z purlin, so for the Z purlin you need different connection, different flange brace connection. So this flange brace connection is also available. You can see here that I had loaded the attribute which I need. So attribute is nothing but the information about the bolts, the thicknesses of the cleat. So these are information you can input and then you can apply the connection so that the connection would be as per your standard. Now for this, from the same connection I can also generate a T-clip. So for the T-clip I can pick the parts and the T-clip can be easily created. So this is how the connection can be quickly applied. You can copy the connections to all different locations. So I had already created the connections for different locations. So likewise you can detail the cold roll part in Tekla very quickly. And next is, after completing the connection, if you want to generate the bolt reports. So this bolt reports can be generated in HTML, Excel or Notepad format. So I'm just showing you here the bolt report. So this is with the Excel. You can see the information. So this is first for the cold form we had created. Now we'll create the hardware BOQ, which is nothing but the bolt report. So this kind of information you can easily extract from the model. Once your model is updated, your reports will be updated. So whatever information is there in the model will be available in the reports. So these are some sample reports which can be extracted in Excel and HTML. So these are the reports. If you want report in some different format, so you can do that customization also in Tekla. So that is also possible. You can see here a different format of report. Then we can see here the different format based on the project requirement. So the BOQ also can be easily generated in different formats. So we had seen now till the modeling, then creating the cold roll members, applying their connection and extracting the drawings whenever required, as well as generating the reports. Now let us see how to generate the drawings from Tekla in more detail. So you can create the intelligent drawings from Tekla automatically. So let us see how we can generate the drawings. So first we are going to see some sample outputs of the GA. So these are different GA drawings. So these are some samples which I am showing you. So this kind of drawing output can be generated from Tekla. You can include a 3D view also if you need. So in Tekla Live model, we are now going to see how we can generate the general arrangement drawing. Earlier also I had shown you the G arrangement drawing part, general arrangement drawing part creation, because I just wanted to show you how Tekla model integrate with the drawings. So this demonstration will show exactly how you can generate the drawings and how the output is coming. So I'm generating a sheeting plan also and some elevations also. So roof plan also is being generated. So there is a button create drawing, and with that you can quickly create the drawing. You can modify and standardize the drawing as per your requirement. So here I'm just showing you a few drawing examples for the elevational view, how it generates the drawings. You can see here some magenta marking. So if the model is updated, then it shows the information in the clouded information in the drawing also, so that you will know which element is updated in the model. So this model and drawings are integrated. So this is the sheeting plan, you can see sheeting layout, and this is the roof plan. So this kind of drawings in some clicks only you can easily generate through Tekla. These are some of the outputs for the fabrication drawings. If you have a column or a rafter, or if you need the single part drawings, all different type of drawings can be generated through Tekla. So these are few more examples of the output which we can achieve through Tekla. And let us now see how we can generate the drawings. So we have simple filters available with which you can select specific members. So here I had already applied the connection and just wanted to select only the column. So the connections are applied in the model, and now we are going to generate the fabrication drawing. Earlier we had seen the erection drawings. So I am now selecting only the columns. So in the drawings, I can first go to the drawing settings and I can load the settings. Whatever settings you had already saved about the dimension, about the part mark, about the grid. So all the information, whatever information and the attributes you want, you have to save those settings, and those settings will be applied to the drawings when you create them. So based on the number of members available, it take relevant time to generate the drawings. So these are the list of drawing you can see here. Now have some drawings here which are being generated. So likewise you can see the drawing is being generated, and if I move to another drawing, you can see here it is being dimensioned. So we have some options to control the dimensions also. So you can control the style, you can include the bill of material, what kind of bill of material you want, the summary of steel, the title block. So everything can be customized. So this is for the columns, how you can generate. Next, let us see fabrication drawing for a rafter, how you can generate through Tekla. I'm just selecting all the rafters. So these are all the rafters in the models, and now we have some setting here. So after loading that setting, if I create the drawings for the rafters, so it's going to create the drawing for the rafter with whatever settings and the attribute I had loaded. we have a number of drawings which are generated for the rafter. I'm going to show you the drawing in detail. So the view scale, the dimensioning, all that can be set, all that can be customized. So these are the bill of material details, and the single part also can be included. If you want separate single part on the sheet, you can do that also. So moving ahead, we are now going to see how the fabrication automation can be done in Tekla Structures. Okay, and we know that it is a important requirement and aspect when we see the PEB industry. The CNC files. So we can generate CNC files from Tekla very easily, and further the DSTV can be converted to DXF also, and you can also produce MIS list as per the DSTV standards. So DSTV files can be generated for the individual pieces. These are some of the profiles also. So let us see how we can generate the CNC file from Tekla. So this is the assembly, and on this part we'll have certain contour marking which shows the location of the secondary members. So I have to go to plate and see option, and I can generate the contour marking also. You can also generate the hard stamp, and with create button you can easily create the CNC file for this member. And in the model you can see the contour marking shows the location of the secondary members in the orange highlighted part. So here you can see the orange highlighted part. It may be not visible clearly, but at this location I can see it quite clearly. So the two orange line shows me the contour marking which will be there on the members. So this is your assembly, and on this assembly you can see the contour marking also will be there. So on the plate the contour marking will be coming. So just to highlight it again, we'll just try to hide some of the members so that I can show you properly. So I think now it is visible. The two lines there in the orange color are the contour marking. So this is how you get the contour marking information. It will be transferred to the DSTV. So let us see how a DSTV file can be viewed. So I'm going to open a DSTV file, and this DSTV file I'm going to show you. Here you can see the hard stamping also, and this hard stamping is also shown here. This hard stamping is also visible in the DSTV viewer. So you can see here how the hard stamping can be shown. Now from Tekla to PCEP we have entire CNC solution. So using steel projects you can easily link Tekla structures to PCEP. Usually there will be some MI software which imports DSTV files and processes them for the machine. So with the PCEP machine, we basically it is using the steel project software, WinSteel or PLM solution. So these are usually able to read the DSTV files. So Tekla provides the entire solution for the CNC industry, for the automation basically. Also for the plate nesting, Tekla Structure integrate and provide information from model to all leading plate nesting software which are available in the market. So Tekla Structures basically provide relevant files in DSTV or DXF formats for those applications as an input for the nesting programs. So you can use different softwares which are available in the market for the plate nesting. Tekla provides you all the relevant file for the integration with them. Let us see Task Manager, which allows us to incorporate time sensitivity data into 3D Tekla Structures model and allows you to control the schedule at various stages and level of details throughout your project. So let us see what is possible with Tekla model if we see for the scheduling part or the 4D planning part. So on the basis of the task, you can create some task, you can create some customizable model views, and you can do some 4D simulation of your progress of your project. So we have a tool. With this you can specify the time frame, and based on that time frame you can see the project simulation. For example, you can display the erection schedule for groups or for parts using different colors, and you can identify those parts that are scheduled or to be fabricated during a specified period of time. So likewise, you can do the 4D planning also in Tekla. Next is linking to the existing system. So as you had seen that you can always do scheduling and 4D planning in Tekla. But if you want to create the task and if you want to import this task from external project management tools such as Microsoft Project or Primavera, okay, so Tekla enables you to import that also. The import functionality basically allows you to preserve any schedules that you had created with the outside tool in this Tekla model. So you can integrate and thereby maintain the schedule intelligence and organization. Tekla can also generate the barcoding link. So for that you have to install a specific font, and we also have some specific reports which are available, and the barcode labels for assemblies and the parts can be easily generated in Tekla. Let us see how we can use 3D model for project communication. So if your vendor doesn't have Tekla and you need to share your model with them, so what are the tools and the ways available to communicate your model, 3D model to them? So we are going to see that in detail now. We have a tool, Tekla Bim Site. It's a free project collaboration software. With Tekla Bim Site, you can combine models from different project participants and check for hard and soft conflicts, which you can do visually or you can do with some checking tools which are inbuilt. You can communicate with other parties involved in the project by adding notes, markups, and project documentation to the models. It supports different file formats which includes DXF, DWG, IFC, etc. So this shows you the model image of Tekla Bim site, where you can see different categorization will be done automatically. You can generate different views. You can zoom inside the model. You can find the clash, etc. Okay. So this is a reviewing tool for the Tekla models. Next is another tool which we have is Trimble Connect. So it is a new way for the designer, builders and owners to collaborate, share and view the project information during the project. So Trimble Connect is a cloud-based solution. It is a collaboration platform, and it streamlines the process throughout your project. Okay, you can easily share the information, you can easily share the files or the project which are project information which are generally required for the file management. You can easily view, you can do simple activities in the project through Trimble Connect. And Trimble Connect is easily available anywhere, anytime, because it's a cloud-based solution. In this, you can see Trimble Connect is a cloud-based solution. And if you have architect involved in this project, he can share his IFC files to Trimble Connect. The same can be taken by the MEP contractor for the clashes. The same can be used by the procurement for the BOM and reports. For the PMC, if they want to know the status and the quality control, they can use them. Then for the designing also, the reference model can be updated on the cloud. And lastly, you can do the site management by taking the RFIs, and if you have any RFIs, you can raise them, okay, by having a look on the model. So basically, you have to insert the model from the cloud. You can check the updates for the reference model. You can update the revisions from the reference model which is there on the cloud. You can use the IFC file format, and all the updated data can be stored at one location on the Trimble Connect. We have one more tool which is Tekla Field 3D. It is a Bim Collaboration Tool which is basically for the mobile devices. It supports iOS and Android devices. And with this tool, you can easily share your data with the persons who doesn't have desktop and the Bim software. Different file types are supported here. You can open the files from email, you can use file share or web, and it can handle very large model till 2 GB also. So viewing in the model, extracting 3D information from the model can be done through the model, through the mobile devices also with this tool. Excuse me. Let us see some case studies, references from some of our prestigious PEB customers for your reference. The first one here is Tata BlueScope Building Solutions. So Tata BlueScope is one of our renowned customer using Tekla Structures for PEB structures. They had completed many projects in Tekla, and one of their pharmaceutical warehouse project is now showcased here, which they had done recently for one of their client. And these are the Tekla model images which you can see. And these are the actual site images for the same structure. So these are the actual site photographs. Next case reference is about Interarch Infrastructures. They decided to adopt Tekla technology, and with this they had modeled many structure. This image shown here is an exhibition center, and it is this is Mac Exhibition Center, and it is architecturally very impressive building, and it has multi-purpose hall inside it. This is also another project completed by Interarch, and this is the stadium structure, and the speciality of this structure is it is specifically made with the pipe sections, and if we have the pipe sections, there is 3D complex detailing is involved. So they had done it with Tekla, and with Tekla they could avoid all the mistakes which may generally occur during the manufacturing and execution. Next is again one structure which is created by ambient controls, and it is a car showroom, and this structure also have the complex curve rafter having elliptical shape. So most of the connections were non-standard, and as we said, the connections can be easily customized in Tekla. So they use Tekla for this project, and this is also an beautiful example of the artistic PEB structures which are now mostly in trend. So this is the Tekla model images which I am showing you. Different curve members are there which are involved. Different type of connections are also there. Here are some outputs. So you can see here the drawings. Different drawings are there. Drawing examples. Fabrication drawings you can see here. So these are all the Tekla outputs which they had taken, and some side photographs. So for the car showroom, this is the side photograph of the structure. So this is the actual structure. Also, PB Steel Lloyd is one of our renowned customer, and they are also working in PEB segment. So this building is completed with the sheeting and all other accessories. You can see the structural member details is also done. Here are some light wall panel. The side elevation of the wall is shown here, and different type of members which are there in the PEB industry you can see here. So this is also a nice case study. Some more detail about their project. Next is the ERA Group case study. So they are the major PEB player, and they also selected Tekla during their early stage, and they had finished quite few structures, and this is just an example of a boiler house which they had completed, and it's mostly a plated structure you can see. So these are all plated structure which is this project is completed by the ERA Group. So our other PEB customer, for your reference, we have Tata Blue Scope, then Phoenix, Zamil Steel, Rija Industries, PEB Steel Lloyd, Butler and Nikon Group. So these are our PEB customers which are using Tekla. Apart from PEB, there are some other segments where Tekla structure has been extensively used. So let us see what are those areas where Tekla structure is being used. So detailing of airport structure can be done using Tekla. So you can see few snaps of airport structure which are being completed with Tekla structures. Then the bridges. So Tekla is also used for the bridges. You can see here the bridges are detailed using Tekla structures. Few example of stadiums. So different type of stadium structures are completed with Tekla software. One of the example is the Beijing National Stadium, which hosted the Olympic Games in China, and some other examples also are visible. Apart from this unique structures, you can also do the miscellaneous steel in Tekla. So with Tekla Structures, it is very easy to do the miscellaneous steel, because revision handling, model changes and drawing updates will be taken care properly with Tekla Structures. So you can do miscellaneous steel also. And there is much more we can do with Tekla. So you can see here some images which shows Tekla can do different kind of jobs. So we can do much more with Tekla. To conclude the session, I would just like to summarize whatever we had seen. So I would like to highlight the benefits of Tekla for PEB structure. So Tekla provides accurate quantities, which reduces the risk when bidding. So dynamic sales models help you to win the tenders, and visualization in the model make it easier to demonstrate the alternative solutions when you are bidding. Also, you can make your detailing process more efficient and flexible with Tekla. The intelligent and accurate model contains information for generating the drawings and reports, and which stay up to date because it is based on your model. So if the model is updated, the drawing reports will also be up to date. And you can do complex steel detailing faster, which will save your cost and time. And also there would be reduced error on site. So less RFIs would be raised from shop and site. So this is what I want to summarize the benefits about Tekla. Thank you all for your attention. So let us see if we have any questions. So we had received a few questions from the user. I would like to answer a few questions, and a few will be answered through mail. The first question here is, can we link Tekla model with StatPro? So yes, you have an option of directly linking Tekla model with StatPro. Even if it is built up, you need not worry. You can directly import Stat model into Tekla and vice versa. So you can do that. Also, there is one more question coming up, which says that the CNC files which I generate, can I link with software apart from FISIP? So yes, you can easily link, because our format is as per Dstv standards. So if your machineries supports Dstv standard, you can link. There is one more question here which says, how I can do the plate thickness optimization. As of now, we don't have any direct solution for the optimization of the plate thicknesses. Yes, but we have an option to input different thicknesses for the flanges. So 6 different thicknesses you can give. So if you have the inputs, you can define those inputs, and it will take that input while creating the members. So you can optimize those by inputting the thicknesses, different thicknesses for the PEB members. Yeah, we have one more question which says that, how I can generate the reports based on the plate thicknesses. So we have one easy tool with which you can easily generate the reports based on the thicknesses. So we have Organizer as a tool. You can use that tool and you can easily categorize your model based on whatever property you want. So I think we had covered almost few questions are left, and which we'll be answering through mail. So thanks a lot for your attention. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us.